spread on when I have you can when the temperature, so I want to get into the forecast here so tonight. So just let me know if you can hear me, cause usually we get a little audio issue sometimes. Just let
Sometimes
me know if you can hear me. Just put it in the chat there quickly. If you can hear me.
testing 1 3. We not test 2. We not test 2. What about 2?
I ain't seen that come up
I
yet.
think the delay or it delay it thing, but nobody has said that they can't hear you, so we
All
must.
right, well, yeah, we can may as well keep on moving. All right,
Yeah. Okay. See.
all right, good. So you know what we gonna call tonight? You know we gonna call tonight the opening up edition on a throwback Thursday because I didn't know if you got the opportunity to watch the press conference this afternoon. You know that you said that you don't like to watch them, but
No, they
whenever
don't like
you
to. I just
uh
don't. I
all
just
right,
don't watch them.
well, I watched it this evening though. I only got wind of it actually a half hour before it went live on YouTube, and I paid attention. So you know, we can touch some topics up in there, some of the things that was said. But first of all, I want you to big up the sponsors there for us. Let me do business correctly.
Definitely. Listen, we cannot be up inside there and running so sweetly, so smoothly, and with all the effects without Allery Media Productions, Allery Technologies.
Yeah,
Check
man.
us out. AlleryTechnologies.com, the best in the business, regardless of what you want with
Mhm.
your technology. Check Allery Media Productions. And we also want to big up me first. Let me tell you, whatever chat going into, this is the time for us to really get ourselves that little treatment, that little relaxation, and
Yeah.
any of the aches and pains. Let me tell you, I'm approaching, I ain't gonna say what age, but it is necessary to treat yourself. We also want to big up Cbell for your menstrual cups. So this time you're watching your dollar. You don't spend time buying sanitary napkins every single month. Get yours menstrual cups. We have them any size for all females from young to old. It does not matter. Once you're menstruating, we got you covered. And we also want to big up Barely Sober.
Yeah.
We are on the I am believe on the very tip of being getting back to the
Yeah, you
events
on the
that
tip. I ain't on that one. You
with
on
the
you can
store.
stay on the tip. I ain't
I
going on that tip.
thinking I thinking by summer, but I don't think they want to let me go. But I'm sure that Birdie Soap again still got something up their sleeves for us.
Hopefully.
So yes, please.
Hopefully. But
And we also
hopefully they get the go ahead because you know the prime minister was mentioning that for the two upcoming bank holidays, which would be Heroes Day and May Day,
yeah,
she
they,
doesn't want any picnicking and all that stuff. So we got hope that between now and close to the time that they are allowing gatherings of over a certain amount of people like how they did sometime before. So we keeping our fingers and toes crossed that doesn't happen, man. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
let me just keep hoping and praying for that one because I could do with a little drink outside the somewhere other than my kitchen.
It's true.
Yeah,
Definitely.
before
Definitely.
I know when I probably wanna where we're going on here, so somebody missing. Yeah,
Missing.
Kita probably gonna reach get touchdown a little later because he was busy at work. You know that boy is a busy boy. That man is a busy man.
Yes, he
So
is.
so it's just Janelle and myself tonight for the
Just for
time being.
now. Yes.
Just for the time being. So let me get right into it. You said that you didn't watch the thing, right? But I want to jump directly into something here though. You see, I have been talking to a lot of people who live in the countryside areas who are heavily affected by the water outages. And you know, a conversation was had where people who have water, which will be in the south districts and town areas and so on, have been using a lot of water and whatnot in order to try to get the places clean, get it back into a certain way that you could open your place and get some fresh air and stuff. Because outside ain't doing me no favors neither. 'Cause outside real hot.
It
But
is true.
but there's my thing, right? We knew that Barbados has a water problem for umpteen years. I think this problem they probably existed long before I even born.
It's about
So
30,
so
it's 30 odd years now for sure. It's about 3 decades
yeah,
for
so
sure.
yeah, so my thing is how could water that is being heavily used on one side affect another side? That's the first thing, because they never ever made it seem as if water being overly used could affect people who are already in water stricken areas. First of all, that's not the truth. That's
No,
far from the
that's
truth.
not right. No.
That's far from the truth.
People
The
only
fact of the
having
matter
water in
is,
St.
uh,
Michael because people in St. Joseph are people in St. Joseph not having water
uh,
doesn't have anything to do with people in St. Michael having water or St. James.
right,
Yeah, you go
exactly.
ahead.
So my thing is this. We know for a very long time that water mains were when they were initially put down back in the I think it was in the 50s. There was iron being placed because we didn't have PVC at that point in time for water mains and whatever. So
Right,
obviously over the decades the iron would be rusting and getting weaker, and then you get these spontaneous bursts here, there, and everywhere.
right.
This is not a new problem. So
That's
the
not.
fact that you are going down the line, and there's another thing too. The AG, Honorable Dale Marshall, was talking about, oh, the issues that the last administration left us. I was like, big man, you really still with that conversation at
This
this
is
point
in
in time?
today's meeting. This is in today's
No,
press
no, no.
conference.
I heard that on the radio. He was speaking on the
Oh,
radio.
recently?
This was yeah, today. Today I
You
was
see that?
driving. Go ahead. Go ahead. What do you
No,
want to say?
that's very what I mean. Trying to say that you could have said so 2 years ago. You can't be saying so now today. But today was the April, 3 years after elections. Continue.
Right,
Hey, listening.
right. So my thing is they're still doing the blame game where they are pointing the fingers at a previous administration regarding um, ministries not dealt with adequately and efficiently. But I's always gonna come back to the fact of calling a spade a spade, because we know full well that the BLP was in power for a 15-year span. I think that would have been just about the time just before the time, sorry, that I would have been able to vote. You were in power for
Right.
15 years, which is 3 consecutive terms. And let me dismiss that there. Yes, and pop up there just now. Right. And there were no changes to these water mains and everything. So and was another funny fact. The fact of the matter is that St. Joseph has never been held by a member of the Democratic Labour Party. So what does that say about your terms, big man? You are not doing what is necessary for your own constituency so that they would not be victims of the water issues. So what you doing calling somebody else's name in a situation that existed for as long as you were in power? That's where it's one already people is beginning off with this blame game and politics. I think I could understand that certain issues were left that come in with a little bad situation, and then coupled with that, we had the pandemic, we had the ashfall. We understand things are compounding, but stop playing that blame game, fam. I can't work with that. Not after all of this time. And then also, like it was a constituency that, like St. John. St. John is a constituency that people that suffer with water outages a lot. But we know the
Right.
DLP had that particular constituency for years.
Right.
So if you were the new person in St. John that took over recently, when one of the basically control everything over the election, I could understand why you would relay to the fact that these people did what they did or didn't do what they were supposed to do, and hence water outages. But I have been speaking to members in St. Joseph and specific parts of St. Andrew, and they have been stating that they have been 2 weeks or more without water.
I think
And
it is utterly ridiculous. Yeah,
and,
go
and
ahead.
that is absolutely ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous, especially now we stating outside is getting hotter. We had ashfall. People need the opportunity to clean up around the areas, clean up around the businesses. Because for I don't think a lot of people think that they got businesses in St. Andrew because they think that that area is so isolated and everything. But there are a lot of tourist tourist destinations that people go to eat, people go to patronize, and so on. And these people cannot operate without the basic
Amenity, water.
amenity of water.
Basic human need. Very basic human
So
need.
I was thinking because we are a podcast that we be talking about solutions rather than identifying problems, because identifying problems is easy. What I was thinking? Just like how I was mentioning in, I guess, some seasons ago, that we need to have a hospital, St. Joseph Hospital, that's actually in the parish of St. Peter. How that should be put to a certain, I guess, state of operation, so that people in the north will not have to travel from so far, such a distance to get to the QEH or FMH or wherever. I feel like a desalination plant should be placed in the eastern part of the island, because it ain't only the west coast that got a sea. Because the existing desalination plant is on the Spring Garden Highway, which is not too far from where the beach is.
There's actually one, a lady called in and said there's actually one that was
Uh-huh.
servicing some parts of St. Joseph, but it was not functioning, which is something that I was waiting for you to,
Oh,
speak about. Like, why is it
okay.
that there are some things that can help these situations, because you want to provide solutions. You want to be able
Uh-huh.
to be solutions oriented, and a desalination plant, um, right now, not just right now, but for long term, is an excellent solution to the problems that we have when it comes to water. However, why is it that it was down, or not working, or not servicing, or it needed servicing, or whatever? That's a question that we really need to have answered.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing was that a couple years ago, when the St. Joseph water issue was in dire need, they had put up they had gotten the businesses to donate the tanks, and then I had the whole issues with imaging and stuff like that. I ain't getting into that part. But you got water tanks put in. So what's the issue now? Like, why is not what I mean, the water thing the
Good
person's
night.
having their homes,
Good night.
right?
Good
Good
night.
Yeah,
night.
Keita. Yeah, Keita. Good night.
Good night. Sorry
Good
to be
night,
late. Sorry
Keita.
to run. Sorry to come in the middle on a point. Sorry to be late. We get to the people there. We get the man them. We get the woman them. IKEA. Sorry to be late. About here.
Easy,
Yeah,
brother.
we didn't miss your dog.
For real.
Yeah, I appreciate that, there, man. I know getting from work, so it doesn't all bear with me, man. Sorry about that. Man. Sorry about
Are you
that.
working
Yeah,
hard?
that's right, man. Settle yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Settle
so
yourself, my brother.
we just talking about the water issues. So Chad would have given us a really long expression on what all of what's happening with us not getting any water in certain parts, and
Mm-hmm.
the fact that some people are still playing the blame game, but we're looking for solutions. Like, where are the solutions that we have not in place? Why is it that we still have in 2021 people without water for an extended period of time?
Mm.
So we're not getting into that part of it, right? So that's
Right.
what they're saying, that you have the water tanks being put on in certain areas within St. Joseph. Why is it that they were empty? Why is it that you now have to go and top up one in St. Andrew and another one? All of those are questions, like, like, why is it that the system that's supposed to be working is not working? It's
Mm-hmm.
clear that the system is not working when it comes to water authority. So some person was saying that the same energy that you put into, like, some power, not we not having electricity for those 2 days, we need the same energy for the persons with the water, but the water is not affecting the majority. The electricity
Mm-hmm.
had affected the majority. So
Right.
it's going to be different. You're going to hear more of that whole, the personal thing coming from the people, the plight of the people, but it will still be a small set. But
Right.
this is a perennial problem that we really need to address. And I have a number of solutions that will come to mind, other than but including the desalination thing. And as you
Uh-huh.
said, this is nothing new. We have been water scarce for a while. We do have issues, and
Mm-hmm.
then they see what some person had called in and said that, you got I don't want to talk about if you're people with degrees and not with degrees. So you have people who the layman will come and say, don't put them buildings there because that's a water course and it will affect the flow of the water, how the water is actually then going to be absorbed and going to our artesian wells and build up our water system. But people that still do what they gotta do for the dollar. So then we still back at square one again. Because all that, when you put the buildings in certain places, water can't collect any reservoirs as they should. It can run off and run into the sea. And then we are not using, we don't have enough desal plants set up because it can't be a one plant or a two plant. We don't have enough. And I think
Right.
it is you, so you should spend a lot of money for long term gains rather than trying to get little quick fixes every minute or whatever, and then back at square one every single year. It's more glaring right now because these Barbadust. Because in the state that we are in, that's why it's affecting people are feeling so because as this is not the first time, Chad, you know it's not the first time recently that people were without water for an extended period of time. But because people are not
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
get their places clean so they can get fresh air in their homes and not feel as though they're
Mhm.
eating iron, you know,
Right.
that's where we are. We gotta get this year started.
Yo,
Yeah.
that's
I
mad.
you the ones that saying either?
No, I guess somewhat enforce Janelle's point because yeah, the water issues in Barbados are nothing new. Um,
Uh-huh.
knowing like how both sides of the table look, because obviously I got close family in the water authority. It is interesting to like hear the perspectives of people outside that actually know this whole workings of the water authority and how the water in Barbados works. Like what Janelle just said about the water courses and so on that people build on and interrupt and pretty much
Uh-huh.
break. That's actually a real significant part of the actual water process. But it's also a process where in some of these parishes, it may sound as though the water might be off for the whole day, but it's actually not necessarily that. It be off for certain times of the day too. And that'll be more, I guess, from my and from what I view that is like they are trying to like ration the water somewhat because sometimes I would say it get overused. I'm not saying that it should be like that, but I'm just saying that that's how it looks like from my end. No, I know like
Mhm.
St. Joseph, John, pretty much the countries from the I guess the east side of Barbados usually are the countries which are really pretty much deprived of water mostly. More cause you know Christchurch water might go off like a couple hours, they come back on. It's more consistent in parts like Christchurch, St. Michael. You know, the more,
Mhm.
I guess, not rural, but, well, pretty much rural areas are the more areas where people live in Barbados. But places like the country, the main, what we consider the country, the St. Joseph, St. John, St. Andrew, they really feel it the worst. And it's unfortunate they are in a situation where because they didn't choose to, well, nobody ever really choose to live there. You might come there and you might grow up living in that area because that's where you're born for your parents, and you might inherit a house or something like that in that area, and you gotta live there in these conditions. So it's difficult. It's difficult. But I could see, to be honest, I could see from like both sides of the table in some aspects as to why there's an issue. Because at the end of the day, it's more than one person to hold it back. I can't say it's all water authority to hold it blame too. You
Mhm.
know.
But
But I want to ask. Uh-huh.
before you say just something that Kita would have said, right? My
Uh-huh.
thing
Uh-huh.
is that if we know, listen, last week I mentioned Ronnie D's song is a paradise, right?
Yeah.
I grew up when I
Mhm.
went knowing that in St. Lucia and some other countries, you know that the water is on from this time to this time, and then it comes back on for this. If the people know that you can got the water on from 12 midnight to 3 a.m. in the morning, they will work to suit. Some people called in on Slam a morning on a radio station, and one day they said that they were taking turns in their neighborhood to try to identify, like turn on the taps to see when the water can be on. And they
Right.
were okay with functioning that way. Not saying that is right, but at least they were maneuver to suit that happening. So if you tell me that the water can be on in my parish from 5 to 7 a.m. and 5 to 7 p.m. and 6 to 8 a.m. and 10 to 12 midnight. I can work to suit. I can catch the water. I can do what I gotta do. If I gotta wash, and I will work to suit. But the haphazard way of things being done, that's what would
Mhm.
then make people feel even more slighted that you don't care about us. You don't care.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
like when it's you want the tankers too. There's no
Right.
consistency, not either.
Absolutely none. And you know, it is becoming more and more aware now that they just really don't give a shit. And the reason why I say that is because you no longer have the excuse of stating, okay, well, we gotta wait for radio and CBC Channel 8 to bring over notifications and updates and whatnot. You no longer have to depend on that stuff. You have social media that touches people like at any given point in time of the day. So if you have a particular schedule in which you are turning off the water in specific districts, you should have people on, on that situation to say, okay, all right, well, we can update the page, we can let the people know so that you give yourself some kind of insulation that you can stay. Oh, well, it's not that we're doing it haphazard. It's just that you didn't know that we probably just put it up on our Instagram page or we Facebook page or whatever website or whatever you may have. So my thing is, it really and truly boiling down to really not giving a shit. Because let me say this too. Do you think, and this is a question for the two of you, and obviously the rest of the inside, do you think that if this problem was consistently persisting in specific areas of this island, that there would be absolutely no conversation about it and of sorting out? You really think so?
So you
You
try,
know, the first
you ask me if I think that if in St. James and in the certain
Yeah.
districts and the St. Michael's and the bigger
Let me say,
parishes
let
where
me say,
people
let me say, let me say some place like Millennium Heights where we know a lot
or
of
West or
upper class
Westmoreland
people live. You think that you could have
or
2 weeks
George
of dry taps? I ain't gonna go so far as 2 weeks, brother. Let me go 3 days. You got 3 days of dry taps. Do you think that an outcry would not be taking place in Itombo in a very, very big way?
no. I don't think it will last so long. I be no way it will last so long. And the truth is, like, if it was them sort of areas, the Westmoreland, the Millennium Heights, all these higher areas, the well-off areas, I don't think
uh,
that water be off for so long. But to be honest, we might say so, but they might not even know because them is got the bigger things like filtration systems and all this.
mm,
But I,
well,
that's
it's
also
required. It's
possible.
required. It's required. However, they can still need
but
to
Uh,
be refilled.
they gonna top it up at some
right,
point. But
Yes.
right,
I don't think it'll be off for a week, or I don't think that they're gonna complain and they can not get them back on as soon as possible,
right.
or water chat with that forever to get no there. You never know. Who knows?
Mm. But don't forget, I told one of that when the it was some Christmases ago. I think that had to be maybe 2018. The water was there was a real serious issue visits housing area in St. Joseph, and they were without water for that entire independence to Christmas to and it has been that way predominantly now for the past 2 years. So my thing is, people do have tanks, they have invested in the tanks, but yet again, the frequency of the water authority going to these people to refill said tanks, you still at square one.
Back at square one.
You
Facts.
still at square one.
Facts. Listen,
So,
when you have a tank, you know the water is off because you will hear the pump on, right? And you so obviously when a person's their house is above a particular square footage, you think it's 1,500 square feet, they need that is a requirement to have the tank put in or whatever. The same way we have basic needs being met, the government is really supposed to meet the basic needs, provide education, healthcare, etc. for the community, for the masses. Same thing for water. So you say if you have a house under 1,500 square feet, you don't need a water tank. Persons in St. Joseph would have gone ahead and said, okay, I don't need one because my house is 600 square feet, 800 square feet, whatever. I know it's not gonna water, so I can go and put in my water. I can get a water tank and attach to my house. But before you hear the show, the water tank never could fill up with water because they never got enough water coming to the community or whatever. So it's not so that people are not trying. I am sure that a lot of persons in these communities are making the effort. But to answer your question, it would not be to this extent if it were the Gold Coast, etc. Because one, more businesses, and don't get wrong, don't get me twisted. Not like not for the government or for the whomever, but where you have more people using the facilities, it will have a direct impact on the economy. So you would definitely have to find a
Yeah,
solution.
for
You
sure.
would definitely have to find a solution.
Mm.
However, if you want to look at just residential areas and this was a problem, it would, sorry, and this was happening, it would not be to this extent. It definitely will not be a problem to this extent. So,
Mm.
why is it that we have two Barbaduses, the whole animal farm thing? All men are equal, some men are more equal than others. That book was written in 1902 or something like that. But it was 1842. I will Google it.
Yeah, but
Okay?
some things will never change.
Some things will never change unless we overthrow the whole world. But Chad, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, I
So,
guess we back to the original plan of killing some people and cracking some heads. Then.
The cracking heads, shooting people.
yeah,
All
I
right.
guess.
So, huh? All right.
Nice,
So,
I guess.
what was that? What was that you again? Said that you suggest what?
No, I say guess. We about to
Oh,
crack
you
your head.
guess. Right. Well, if that's what we back to it. I mean, far be it from us not to offer solutions and possible paths to solutions. But if the men working, we gotta go back to what working. Anyhow, let me move on.
1945. I
So,
know it's 19 something, but I can't remember.
school get pushed back again, man.
And
It's
that
still
What
ain't
was
get
going
pushed
on?
back. School ain't
What
get pushed
happened?
back. School
So the
opening
I,
Monday.
but
It's
no,
just like, it's just gonna be online. I
oh,
still be homeworking, huh?
I talking
4 days
about for
school.
the, I speaking on behalf of the parents that the want the children push out the house. I talking for them. I know you's a parent too, but you's a teacher as well. So you got a particular point that gives you 50-50. But I talking about the parents that just are parents that they want the reprieve from the little minions in the house. They
Well,
want them
well,
outside. They want them back in the classroom.
that
My
should not
school bill
be
hurting me.
a
My school
parent.
bill killing me.
That should not be the parents' objective when it comes to their children going to school. We have a here, Mrs. Murray from Poway from home. She can say it should be parents would want their children at the school so that they can get the best suited environment, controlled environment for learning. All right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can see that.
Listen, I hear a woman today in terrific to saying, man, I can't wait till Monday come. I will pay any amount of money right now to get this child away from me. Yeah. I say, yo,
When I got twisted.
I say, whoa, boy.
look at these parents.
These
Look
these
at
little
these
bundles of
parents.
joy.
Oh Lord,
These
look at
bundles of
these
joy.
parents. Look at
No,
these parents. Look at
And
these
certain
should not be
parents.
people,
like
and
that.
certain people, they're messaging me, telling me, yeah, man, I just glad that I can get the opportunity to work now.
Which
I
terrific
got,
tells you was in there?
huh?
Which terrific tells you was in?
I understand you.
Which terrific tells?
Or I ain't want to say which one
Oh,
because
oh,
I
oh.
want to ball out the body.
Wait,
You
but you were
understand? You
there?
never know. Huh? The body
But
was
you were there?
working there, yeah.
Back to
The boy was
school.
working there. And they had the little one running about in there, so and things. So
And they were
she was
saying
just
that they
having a
want it
customation.
back at school.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I can
She
see
was
how that
saying
could be a
so.
call. I can see how that could be a conflict of interest because I would tell Rambo and Dan that don't saying.
You
Then you
understand?
go, then they go, okay, well, sorry.
that would be tough. That would be tough, man. But I could understand the pain of the parents of like the 5-year-olds and the 6, 7, and so on. Like that can't be easy, man. I
Yeah.
know.
And so what you saying about me? Listen to me. I
Oh
have
Lord, I just don't
wait,
tell
hold
you that
on.
I am in you.
No,
I'm
but
talking.
no, you see, but what I'm saying is that just
Uh,
as you are saying, I do want them. My daughter, she is 4 years old, and at
uh,
this rate, right, she will be
uh,
at the back of the class in primary school in September because when school starts online, I have to try to juggle my workload and hers, and it is very difficult. I wish she was
right.
at school. They get my hopes up. They say that they're opening Monday, and then they say, come, I had a meeting this evening and say that her school can't open Monday neither. All
Uh,
these schools got us kids stay
This
closed.
was
So I'm feeling it.
what?
I really
What was the
feeling it.
rationale? Though? The rationale was because of the act,
Oh, these
or
yeah, these schools are not clean. Listen, I
yeah,
went up to my school, and inside of the admin building was clean because it is completely insulated, so you didn't
right.
have any issue.
Yeah, but these
When the
classrooms, yeah.
dust picks up from, but you see, problem is the janitor's cleaning. But when it
Mm.
does pick up from the school environs now, the parking lot, the pastures and stuff like that, and the gusts blow up this dust, this
Yeah,
snow is, I mean, it's literally it look like if you're in the middle of a tornado.
right.
And when I saw that yesterday, I was like, there is no way that school could open on Monday. So sad. So it is.
Yeah.
And my principal said it's not just almost every single principal said that there was no way that the school could open in time, not to have so many people on it.
so
Because
the school's hiring anybody extra to help clean, or
yeah,
is just kind of
yeah.
close?
Well, ours is planning to. There's some schools that are doing so because you have to have the people clean it inside and outside at the same time. Do you clean? You have to clean the parking lot. You can't. I know one
Yeah,
man can't do that.
you
You
got to do
know
both because if you don't do both, you can put yourself back in the same spot as
exactly,
you got to
exactly.
do both.
So it is definitely a struggle for the schools, and then like you will have like a business. Most businesses will be completely like how our admin building is. See, your company shut down. You may not want the door in. You can have a towel layout for people to wet their feet so they don't carry the ash inside. All of that can happen. But a school, like especially dry weather schools, that all the corridors is just wind is just the
Yeah. And you
outside.
gotta remember
Yeah.
too that the classrooms built with that sort of brick to allow air inside to cool the classroom. So you already got the bricks open, so the dust can easily find access.
Yeah, so
No.
We are Barbados for a little longer. All
But
right,
makes sense
I,
you
I
got one
saw
help
Barbados.
Terry.
cleaner.
I saw Terry around the ash for you.
Well,
That
Oh,
people
time
that's true.
people
Oh,
that
my
people
girl said
willing to
that she
help clean up.
Terry.
People
Yeah,
willing
that
to
ash
help
boy.
clean up just to get children out of the house. Look, I would
that
I
love
ash
that.
identify.
the school should do that. The school should do a program where if you want each other to get back to school faster, come and help clean for free.
But
And
they
still
were
should do
God,
this
but they
help
were
clean
God,
for free.
but they're still ain't getting the work do, Keita, because if Janelle is saying that the parking lot's holding the ash mostly, and then when you go and clean, and then fresh gusts of wind coming through and pushing the dust again, but you still gotta be on call to clean up as it start mobilizing again.
Man,
Yeah.
So
I
that
ain't care
means
about
then
clean
that
up.
you
I
working
they
for
ain't gonna
free the
clean up
whole
all.
day.
They ain't gonna clean up all. We can clean up some
You're not
and
gonna
rest
all.
the rest. Like that's not.
But
Listen,
I
keep when
mean
the children warm.
the
Keep when the
parents ain't
children
going
warm,
to,
man.
I feel
but
I honestly do feel for the parents, and I definitely know that there are a number of teachers.
I
As
feel for
much
them.
as we are looking at our health, COVID, whatever, there really were a number of teachers who were looking forward to getting back out there. People really will be looking forward to being back in these schools
well,
to help the children.
to be
That's the truth.
to be
But
honest, back out there
the
really worth it
heavens,
because I back
mm,
out there, I back to work, I back in office, and I know for
Fully
this
no, fully no, Keita.
not really fully. I could still work from home if need be, but
Okay,
because
okay,
the amount of time I was working from home, I
yeah.
still have a lot of customers who actually need to see me, so I still have to go in like
yeah,
Mm.
I see
4 days
that.
out of 40, sometimes the whole week. But I've been back out, and I don't know if you all see the video that was circulating on WhatsApp with the Gavin Magnet and the Ash, but
Yeah,
The
it's a
one,
whole
the
security
ash.
the
magnet.
magnet.
Oh
Thing
yeah, oh
going,
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel how savage this dust could be because It's the particles of this dust can pick up. The magnet can show you what really get through the air, what we really in taking into our
That's why
system.
he
So,
said
But
keep the
that's what it
children
is, though,
home.
you know.
That's why he
Because
said keep the
no,
children home, cause
it's
that's a
true.
real health issue. That's a health hazard there.
we done
So
know,
you,
you done know
so
the
so
child
which
is
one you
from our
want?
phone.
So which one you want? You
You
want a
want
sickly baby,
healthy? No,
or
you want healthy. You want healthy society, and like just what Keita was speaking about. Like this is what it's trying to be alive. Remember when I was doing geography? It was so exciting to learn about volcanoes. I think that was
Yeah,
one of my
it's
major
so true.
things about geography, right?
It's
Volcanoes,
true.
and then to know all that after the volcanoes, years later, how fertile the land is be, and
Yeah,
all that is how. But to live through the immediate. Nah, and the reason
yeah.
why the earth
Where
is
they
so
put that part
fertile
in?
is for the same iron and magnesium that's found in the them particles is
But
what's helped the plants later down. But right now it affecting our
where
health.
they left with that
So
part? Where they left with that part? School just
exactly,
to tell
it's
me.
true.
They could have told
It's
me,
true.
well, the day,
Why?
the immediate week after the
Listen
volcano
to
has
me.
erupted, there will be a plethora of ash in the atmosphere, and it's going to
Jesus
be a
Lord.
very difficult time to live through that period. They could have told me that.
They
They
could
could
have
have told me that.
though.
They could have told
They
me
could.
that part because
It's true. It's
this,
true.
this is it.
I
It's
got
true.
This is
And
I
you see
gotta
what
tell one of
the what's this Chad 86 called, you see name backwards and you'll see Chaddy. He's saying that the heat on top of all this here is a killer. You know what's upset. Listen,
yo.
my daughter, I don't have AC in the car. I can't leave the windows open for all the ash to come in. See, it is
Yeah,
a
you right.
struggle.
You
It's
like
a
Usher boy.
struggle.
You like
You
Usher
just
boy. You got it bad.
I got
You
it
got
bad.
it bad.
So imagine a school if you do all right, that's me though. But imagine a school if you do now have the place like some classrooms can close up and you have those classrooms completely closed up, then people children can suffer.
Yeah,
They're gonna
sufferation.
suffer.
Pure
Yeah, so
sufferation.
oh there,
They
yeah,
got Miss
big up
Ward.
Miss Ward.
Nah, boy.
she,
I can't
she,
be Miss Ward, boy. No, boy.
that's Miss Ward. She
No, I
teaches
can't be
geography
Miss
though.
Ward.
She teaches.
I ain't with
Shit,
that.
listen,
The
nah,
man, I ain't been
no,
in Miss
listen,
Ward.
this
I
money
don't
here, so
want to. I don't want to Miss Ward.
Miss Ward, nah, we good. Big up Mr.
Who
No.
Mrs.
Carter,
Warno?
big up Mr. Carter,
Yeah, I
Miss
can tell Mr.
Mosley,
Carter. Yeah.
yes,
But
big
everything
ups
is
to
boy.
them.
Although I still got
It's a
vibes, man.
foundation thing.
Although I still got Nick Mirrors with Miss Ward and my socks, boy. No, I
Not
can't
my
do
girl
that.
though. Oh,
I can't do
you see
that.
that because she didn't teach us geography. The ones who she taught geography, apparently they had good classes.
She teach
But
me
if she was
geography
just
the
the year,
first four.
if she was the year ahead though, it was a struggle.
But she
If
teach
she
me
was the year
geography.
ahead,
She teach me
oh,
geography the first
oh
four.
shoot.
But this woman is a little too strict
Mr.
with my socks.
Carter. Mr. Carter is the buddy and Miss Mosley. We are excellent teachers though at the best school in Barbados.
Bigger
Even
yourself.
if they're annoying, yes.
But yo,
Shani is saying,
but on a real though, like
mm-hmm.
this Ash ain't it. I wish I knew more about this Ash before it happened. I remember my
Facts.
parents talking. My parents thought with this thing, and the old heads thought with this thing.
1979.
We call it Ash and put it in a match. Well, they tell me about this part.
Nah, they clean up. Nobody ain't worry.
They tell me I gotta wash off my car glass every day. I go, boy, make sure you wash it twice a week and thing.
Them ain't worry.
No,
Them ain't worry.
this is
This
pain.
Shane Gibson? That's Shane Gibson? Now here's saying that, man. Mr. Carter. Dear me. Anyways, but Chad was also saying that the liability that we will be inflicting with the effect that you have on the teachers with respiratory issues. First one, drop down is a straight and shut down. So then you can have an extended effect if we were to rush and go back into the school. So I do agree with that.
Well,
Yes, Chad is here. We'll turn that turn.
honestly, like I installed an AC last year before COVID hit, like January last year. And I thought that was the best thing ever done in my life. I know, boy. I installed AC like January last year, and that turned out to be the best decision I made for the whole of 2020 because
Shoot.
no,
But 2021 decided to show you why that they also got consequences for every action because you cannot turn on that AC now. Because that could be an expensive mistake.
we talking about AC on no.
Well, you
Like
clean
you
it,
get
right?
service.
You clean
You
it.
get service.
I can every day.
Right. But
Make
that's
sure
what
you
I had to
don't
do.
take stick up.
I had to go on spray down that one, and then when it dry, just take the garbage bag, keep the dust off as much as possible. That's all you can do.
Yeah, that's
Or
all
to
you can
do
do.
anything else, yeah, all you can be doing is
Yeah,
wasting time if you try to do anything different.
yeah,
But yeah,
but
man.
yeah,
So how wanna feel about the other? What, Keita, you know that mean that you probably get to really go through the new directives and everything. And this one here running for 3 weeks as opposed to two. You know, usually it's be a 2 week directive, and then they will come back and state whether or not they're taking away something or if they're adding something or whatever.
I see most of the factors and so on from it because remember I posted in the group some the points from. I didn't realize it was 3 weeks, but you know it's so funny that this always happens on a Thursday just before our show. That the news is come here first. We get to
Yeah,
broadcast
these guys are saying.
we
Yeah,
get
it's happened for a reason, man.
she could just send me a briefing though from the early and let me know beforehand so she would know we could podcast it, man. But yo,
Yes.
Oh, that's true,
I
yeah.
see that certain sporting events, like some sports activities opening back up. Well, for training,
Mm.
which is a plus because yo, we didn't stay for too long, and they feel as though like we men are only gyms are really disadvantaged. And as soon as they could have opened back, the men say, "Ash, boy, ash." And he went
Ash.
hold out in the skin. So it was rough. It was real rough. But like they started about gym for next week, bro. Like come it. They started about gym next week Monday.
You know,
Hopefully.
gym owners how to be
But
cruel too, boy.
the gems,
Yeah, but somebody keep
you mean
there.
in terms of cleaning and thing? Because they have to listen. It's one thing to be cleaning the protocols, cleaning. It's another thing now to be cleaning with the ash. Because they actually like touring one. I went touring in gym. It was just a constant mopping, like just mopping, just mopping.
The gym
You know,
that
as
is,
they the one in behind Pioneer.
that's when it's gonna
Oh, I meant tour, so think
form
about
the
that one. Yeah,
it's,
So hold out
think
the
about
school
it.
dog, they got big fans in there.
No, they
that's
said the
actually a
warehouse
real
that
that's
open.
actually a really cool gym. Like the event is just
Yeah,
people that probably did that but in Fort George. The event is just
yeah.
cool.
And
It's not fun,
it
bro. It's
really
not
was, yeah, they have fans, but it felt really cool. And the lady was
fun.
cleaning. The gust, you could see the gust blowing the wind across the road, but it wasn't necessarily coming right
Yeah.
into the gym. Yeah, the ash,
Mm.
but it wasn't coming in.
Okay.
So it looking as though, but you see,
Yeah.
a lot of people can put things in place to make sure that they can.
Yeah. But
And that's the thing
they
about
got a lot of
private
different gyms too.
entities.
So they got a lot of
Right.
different gyms
But
too.
that's what I was just going to say. That's the thing about private entities. They will spend a lot for extended maximum gains. And I think that the government is like, well, I can only spend this little bit, but then it can only last for this little bit of time. And then I can spend this little bit. I think, but a gym will know, well, look, this we might not have any more eruptions for another 100 years, but let me see what I could do to make sure that next year the same time, just in case I'm not back at square one. And I think, and
Yeah.
I must commend a lot of the entrepreneurs out there. They're active and they're thinking. There's like, okay, this happening, and I want my gym open so I can put these things in place.
Yeah,
All right, they may
they
waiting for
got
nobody to tell
they
them
got security bag.
what to do exactly. And so you already got bigger all the entrepreneurs out there.
Yo, big up all the entrepreneurs out there, big up all the small business owners, man, for sure. But I'm glad that gyms open back because you got to study that these men ain't making cent for a year. And these men
Yeah.
still got to pay a rent because your equipment ain't standing in that gym. And you're paying a rent. You think in your gym, so you technically got to pay a rent. So welcome when you want to save up at the end of December, which is also a very tough month for a gym because a lot of people don't go to the gym November, December. A lot of
Yeah.
people see Christmas and like, yeah, I can go back to the gym for January for New Year's resolution. A lot of people say cheese on bread. The end of the year come, end of December, you shut off everything. COVID hit rampant, and gyms they shut from then till this last week. No, this week. Because technically that's the snowball you play, so they only really open back this week. And
Right.
there's what 4 months of the rank still
Of
got
being
there.
close.
They
Yeah.
made it feeling it, man. So I feel good to know that them back out. I see Draven and
The cinemas.
cinemas open back.
Yeah.
Oh, you
That's
know, people
interesting.
gonna be moving.
People want
You
things
know,
to do.
people gonna be moving. So that what I mean, because we were
People want
restricted
things
for
to
so
do.
long, it gonna get rough.
Yes.
It gonna get rough because
And they do not
everybody gonna
blame
be trying
people.
to get entrance, boy. Don't talk
Yes.
about if they reopen the Olympus and think, oh Lord.
Right, they opening back.
That's
But
what I
they
mean.
see,
When it open back, it gonna be cruel. Cause don't forget when like Like for example, when a big movie coming out, sometimes they will oversell the number of tickets for that room, and it depends on when you get there, what time you get there. But somebody like you or I would decide, all right, I can got 2 o'clock. I think it used to open an hour before the first movie. You were going to
Yeah,
buy your tickets beforehand, so when you come up the road, you just going to park, shoot, walk straight in.
correct.
But what if no, they don't take into consideration them things? Like I go out there at 2 o'clock, buy my tickets, and then when I get there, the man tell me, well, you can't come in because the X amount of people, we at
Protocol,
capacity at this
COVID,
point.
COVID protocol.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm
actually,
saying?
I'd say they have regulated that years even before COVID and stuff like that. They did regulate in terms of seating and stuff. Because I remember years ago, I went and watched a movie. Brokeback Mountain, I can't say what movie it was, and it was so broke back, right? It was, it was
Wait a
so good.
minute.
But
Wait a
since those
minute.
years ago, I remember then after
What
that,
kind of
they
movie
had
is this?
Girls Trip. They had Girls Trip for one of them there, and it was the seating. It was
Fire.
exact. Right, but
Fire
I
for
think they
that.
are regulating that. What I don't know how they can regulate this is having only 25 people in a concession stand area. How you get regulate that? You get put an announcement in each of the rooms and say, okay, 5 more people could come, and whoever's the 5 fastest people to get there. I do not see how they will be able to regulate
Mm.
that area.
Honestly, I
And
think that
But
they
you
were
said
they were really
it's
thinking
25.
about thing
It's
though. They
25
were
people
really
maximum.
thinking about
25, 25.
I think they were really thinking about the Olympus with that because when you go in the drive-in, you just don't really see a snake in line that kind of way unless you get there
Actually,
super late.
yeah, yeah, because sometimes they do depend on what time. 'Cause if you get it for intermission, like when you watch the movies, and then that line is be right back down the stairs. I've seen it more than once already, back down the stairs. But like social
What they gonna
distancing
do?
has shown you that you could use common sense to certain things. So I don't think that people will go to the drive-in and try to butch up on the one another. You don't get no freedom, but don't be stupid with it. I mean, like, don't go up in the drive-in and butch up on the one another.
I don't
You know what I
know.
mean? Like, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to be honest. But,
Okay,
but
understand.
I'm glad for that. I'm glad people get a little listen. I see everybody, but I see everybody in the snaps, the back at the restaurants and the bowling and the posting pictures outside and this and
Mm.
that. The people
Eating
are happy.
ash.
Yeah, people are happy. They was like inhaling ash and eating, so they're happy.
Eating ash.
They're
But
happy.
there's
They're
something that
happy.
we were to speak about. I don't know if you want to move on from this here.
Yeah,
About
Yeah,
if
the
yeah,
you ready.
okay. There's something that Kita wanted us, well, that some persons are wanting up inside there. Followers said that they wanted to speak about the cost of the KN95 mask and the video that was put out. I don't know if a person who did
Oh,
not
I
see
thought
the
you don't
video.
want to talk about juice and biscuits,
I
man.
was just getting so Chad. I thought she didn't want to talk about
Oh,
this.
I
well,
thought she
now
want
we
to talk
can
about
talk.
juice and
I ready.
biscuits.
I ready.
All right. When I want to talk about the juice and biscuits, we're inches
No,
is let
no.
me talk about the juice and biscuits.
Nah, man. We can't left that one too big a
But
topic to deal
before
with right now.
before we talk about juice, before we get to that topic, I just want to let y'all know that kids who know drink Lasco.
Let's go.
Yeah. So
Throwback Thursday, sorry.
for sure,
Thursday. Yes.
But the kids
Yeah,
who
all
know
the days feel the
Lasco,
same, so forgive me.
yeah. But yo, the video with the KN95 mask. No,
Uh-huh.
there was a video I posted it on my Instagram too. I think it was last week, where this gentleman had went to a popular supermarket, not a
Me, I
supermarket
didn't know, sir.
near popular, but it's a very well-known supermarket, very big supermarket, and purchased some what we would call
What happened?
he was actually
I
making
find
purchases of groceries, and then
what going on with that? What going on with that audio, brother?
Kita, something happened there.
Channel,
No,
We
yo,
can
you
hear
didn't
you
sound
better
as
now.
clear.
Yeah,
You
your
didn't
audio
sound as clear.
went
yo,
right.
yo, yo,
Or you sound
level,
better now.
level,
Sound better
level,
now.
or
I
Yeah, you
level.
think
good
I
now.
think
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So he went in
closeness.
a well-known supermarket and purchased some groceries, and then as he was there, he had to purchase a mask. How everybody's doing marketing, the convenient marketing.
It happening again. It happening again.
All right, let me drop. We'll come back in.
All right.
All right.
Just hop
But
out there so quick
just
and come back forward.
yeah, but just to continue, he was saying that he But I actually for never even watched the whole video because it was like this is kind of I can get to my opinion after us telling the story of this gentleman who wanted to go and buy a mask and some of the thing for his son, and he went into one of our large. We got stuck calling people names for the ear guys, okay? But we went into this large business. Go ahead, Keto.
Yo, so you went to buy groceries, and you know how the supermarket.
Nah,
A
Kita,
few things.
you still sound old again.
Oh, I
Nah,
better.
nah, I just kidding. I just kidding. Continue.
Oh, so you know how supermarkets is the big supermarkets, the sales, how the sales semi supermarkets where yes, you got all the things that by the cashier that you was a cheese, oh boy, should get that there for true. Let me grab it here one thing. So they had the mask, mask important because of COVID ash. So they got
Ash.
yeah, so you know how it is now with this mask. So my guy take out the mask to purchase it, and the cost of the mask was it was how much?
$30. He bought six masks for $30. Or no,
Mask,
five masks. Five masks for $30. Five masks for
Mm.
$30.
Mm. And he threw a whole fit about the like Gojen and the inflation and holy supermarkets, pretty much bullying customers. You know how the whole supply demand thing works. And he went up on a whole rant about it's unfair to the consumer that we got to go through this and the whole 9 yards. So it was passionate because that's something we talked about last year on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is yeah, and everybody's talking about it and nobody really don't really take action of it. Then
Right.
he can probably go back and see again after that and things. Sorry for calling him, but he can still go back and then wait things after that.
Yeah.
And that's how the world works. But
Yeah.
Basically.
it was interesting to know that these things that's happened. I hope people assume what this and we could all run and repost it, but we ain't doing that to better it. So I know you want to talk about I can go ask you. So how do you
No
feel about it?
problem. This is my thing, okay? A number of things came out in that video that had me, thinking. One, I do understand we do have a lot of issues with when it comes to price gouging and stuff like that, and it cost of living. But something you gotta understand about supply and demand, that that when there's a demand for things, you're gonna have it's gonna be a higher cost, depending on like the availability of it or whatever. No, he picked up the KN95 mask and not regular mask. KN95 masks cost generally between $4 and $5. Okay, it really was, and to hear that particular supermarket had them for $6 for that establishment, that's pretty cheap in my mind because in other establishments it's selling for $5. And usually markup difference between is be like a good set of money. That's one of my things, right? You argument, you advertising Kita selling KN95
I
masks,
ain't
guys.
telling no, but
All right.
I bought these last year when they were hot on the market before COVID.
Wait, and that's going to my next point, and I want to know how much you bought those for because last year, when the COVID thing is, I went into a pharmacy to purchase other things, and I said, you know what, let me get some disposable masks as well, and because it was I had only the regular cloth ones, and they were saying there was a lot of deliberation between the 3-ply, 2-ply, this ply, next ply, KN95 surgical, whatever mask. I said, let me get a KN95, let me get some KN95 masks. You know how many I ended up buying? One. You know why? Because it had cost $14.95. I will never forget. $14.95 for that one KN95 mask last year, April. And I had it inside of a paper bag for the day that suppose it was the apocalypse and I needed to have on that special $14 and
That can't save you from a
mask.
zombie bite though, fam.
But I'm just saying, right? Because
Because
and the funny thing is, right, I could have left it there, but I still purchased it. So what is that as an indignation on me, not on the people who are selling it for $14.95. But I want you to tell me how much you buy it for. Because when I hear the guy talking about this cost $6, I said that's cheap.
Oh, this mask that when they're talking about it can't protect one from a zombie bite. So when it can just be zombies and
last year,
KN95 mask.
Shall I show you, right? I gotta show you. Like I showed you the other day
Uh-huh.
last week. I spend near $40 on them months though, and it was just 5 months.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
buy
You
them
did
on
mention
Amazon
that to
when
me,
it was
yeah.
new.
you see? Okay then. So when I heard that video, I was like, big man, but you want this other proportion. The next video he put out, it was much he was simmered or whatever. He said he didn't talk to the supermarket owners or nothing like that. But in my mind, I was like, that you should already check out the price of these things on the shelf
Honestly,
first.
I love the intent.
Cause
I,
that's
I love the intent of that message. Don't get me wrong, because it is true on many factors, but that was not a good example because their masks called the same thing. And the hurtful part of
yes.
that is because a lot of people sell fake masks of those. A lot of people sell what
Okay.
they call KN95, which
Yeah.
aren't, which is like an inferior brand, and sell them for cheaper. So people think, oh, these is the same KN95. No, they're not. They're cheaper and they're less quality. So I get the message he's saying because we ice check on supermarkets in a lot of different areas.
Oh yeah.
I be stack it. We don't want a choice. I be give it ice check on a lot of other areas, but that was just not a good example. The K95
Yeah.
mask is a little bit more expensive than the average mask,
Yeah.
the genuine one. So I am
And
not
if
saying
you go
that.
in that place, you expect to pay that place money. That place things. That's what
Well,
most people
what
say.
you can do
Not
is
saying it's fair, but it is
if
what it
you think
is.
that that is unfair, you keep from that place, get somewhere else, buy masks from somewhere else.
It's
In a
true.
hurry. People selling masks on marketplace, people selling masks on Facebook in different areas, Instagram, what ads, everything. I'm sure
I know somebody
if you say the
that's
word
sending them
if you say the
mm-hmm,
word mask, if you say the word mask 10 times, no, he can get out of he phone on Instagram telling people mask somewhere in Barbados. Trust me. So
facts.
he said all you gotta do is continue saying the word mask and he can see some ads show it just no point IG with some mask selling to you. So don't worry. But there's somewhere else if you think it pricey, there's somewhere else and see what the price is. If you think
Oh
it's
yeah.
cheaper somewhere else and the quality is the same, but it's somewhere else.
Like I will not lie. There are certain times of my life I go and I shop certain places. That is all stop me from spending money where I want to spend my money. And for most people, but as you said, the whole point what he was trying to push in terms of the price gouging and everything, that in itself is a really good point. But as you say, that example was, the cricket turns piss poor because it really wasn't that different. Anyways, we got people who are selling them 20 in a box for $50 compared to buying
Yo,
50 in a box for $20 for the
I
other
can't
mask. All right?
I can. A five mask is pricey, so well a genuine one, not the fair ones. But yo,
Yes.
I work next to one of the big establishments. I don't want to shop for everything in there. It might be convenient for me to go next door as opposed to do somewhere else. I still
Mm-hmm.
go by these small stores and buy certain things on weekends and things I think I even need at much more reasonable prices. You know, understand? So it is. I don't want
No
to say
more, no
it is
ultra.
because
Listen,
it
hello.
isn't,
You are.
but
I want to smart off things. And it's me. It's only me and Kisa that can pronounce it out loud. You want people can send me in a voice note funny things.
I mean
It turn community and about it.
Huh?
that word
And you
attached is
can't
there.
and you can't and you can't start it and then stopping. It gotta be in one flow. So if you say and you stop or if you pronounce it wrong, you're out.
We're going to put pressure for me know how to pronounce the word.
Correct.
Anyways, it
Correct.
is
Nilsa. Correct.
pneumonia
Nilsa.
ultra microscopic silicovolcanic anemosis
Ah, are you out?
is volcano, sorry.
Yeah, I,
Volcanosis.
I I agree with Nilsa though, because like if it would have been a topic if last month the cost was $10 and then the price was $30 in that month. But
Right. Yes.
that price was the price right true. So
Yes.
yo,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
savage, bro.
Yes.
It's
Yes,
savage.
it is true. Nielsen is right. Yes. But we do have to take note. What I did when I shopped in the beginning of the COVID thing, this particular lockdown, I have kept my receipts since then, and I refer back to my receipts so that I can have proof. I also went to different
About
that
receipts.
yeah, I just keep my receipts. I also went to different locations to try to see if there's a difference in prices per location. And the street I went to, South, Central, and St. Michael ones, the prices were pretty much the same. So people will say, well, then change the price. I see them they did change the price this morning, when the hair, whatever. But it really hasn't been as drastic What I do want us to take note of though is that it does happen, and we have to work on producing our own things. Okay, stop depending on spending all the long money for the imported things. That's really my whole thing. Okay, buy a large bag of potatoes and use to do your whatever. Rather than buy the expensive linguine, this that, next thing. Change how you just buy stuff if it is hurting you so much. Grow you want to Chinese cabbage and y'all cucumbers and this and that thing, or have friends like mine who
Today's
bring
World
me
Earth Day,
produce
right?
every week. Hmm?
Today's World Earth Day thing, you know.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it
yeah.
is. Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It is.
There is no planet B.
Stop with these
Did,
single-use
did, they,
plastics. All
did
these
they
things we
ask
gotta stop with.
did they ask the people
Recycle.
did they ask the people to burn any trees, try and kind of plant some, man?
There's our trees.
2 days ago, people were burning trees. I didn't know. I heard people were burning trees. So,
Not
yes.
trees. Not trees. Trees.
Yeah.
2 days later, 420.
2 days later,
Anyways,
people.
but yes, plant more trees. Let next 420 be well burnt. But
Yeah.
my whole thing is, so honestly, we have to do better when it comes, and that's another thing that is get upset with the government. You are allowing these people to bring in all types of different things, spend all types of money, importing. You have little restrictions. Nielsen here so saying the outside distributors have been raising the prices as well. You see now, so the people who are distributing to the supermarkets have increased their markup, and she works and she will see this day in and day out. The government, and who is protecting the man on the ground? So we gotta stand up and say enough of this here though. If it is that I'm only gonna be using what I grow in my garden, or my friend growing in their garden and their farms or whatever, that's what it can be for you to understand that I am not putting up with this. And a lot more of us can do it.
Agree. And I
Mm-hmm.
agree 100%. We need to grow more. And that's a fact. Yo,
Conspiracy, all right.
you know, I came in late. I ain't really sure what y'all was talking before you came on, if that was the topic.
No, you
Uh,
were good.
but I want to say though to the sponsor, like, yo, big up me first, Small Massage, because a lot of people have been over this week and past couple weeks.
Yeah, shoveling and saying that's true,
Bend
that's
over,
true.
bend
Back,
over, bend
the lower
over.
back.
Bend over, bend over, bend over. Back way, back way.
And a lot of people lower back. So a lot of people lower back. Once you see people lay down at the back feeling right, they gotta get massage again. They gotta rub down and they do better because yo,
Yeah, the
a
box
lot
wall
more
cracking.
a lot more sweeping I think than we accustomed to doing. A lot of
Yeah,
people back
man.
wall cracking for sure. And I'll rub it down and massaging. So big up me for more massage, y'all. Y'all could get some massage therapy there for sure. That was a good plug.
Facts.
For sure, for sure. I was thinking about that when it was on my way home from work. Like, yo, that was a good
They need,
for this thing right now, boy. Massages, stuff. You're right. People need massages from all this cheap man. People boxer shoveling cheap all sorts of things.
The
Yeah.
shoulders, the trapezius, the be under a lot
yeah,
of
yes,
stress.
I sprained mine. Oh, trapezius, oh shit. Oh, I pronounced it wrong. I guess the way I call it. I guess the way
No
I
worry
call
about
it. But
that. No
yes.
worry about that. No worry
Yeah.
about that there. So let me see.
Is
They
that
reopen the
same?
things. Then they ain't got no restrictions on the beach for the bank holidays though. But they said that you can't do no picnicking, no what do you call that no, and the karaoke and thing. Nothing so you can't do.
I have a friend who owns a karaoke business. So he owns a um
A bar?
sound system business. And we were
Oh.
talking about the gym, but these people are definitely because there's one thing to have people, the DJs and stuff like that. Some who don't, and that's their livelihood. These people struggling, honestly, right? So you got
Yeah.
your sound system and stuff like that. Not even little karaoke. Is hard. It is really hard. For
Mm-hmm.
our brother man out there.
Yo, I
So
meant
I
again
guess,
karaoke bar. Dude. I used to do
yeah.
karaoke almost every weekend or every other weekend at one point. A couple years ago, like coming out. I can't remember what my life was like before COVID. No, boy. Cha, boy.
That will
Yes.
happen.
Cha. I used to party.
Can't last forever.
I used to party.
It can't last forever. Oh, come on, Keto. Behave yourself.
I used to get
People,
on
it's
bike.
after 9. We've been here.
Well, you got
Keto.
pictures, you got video.
I go, always go look back at the videos. Remember you? I used to go say to have a good time, boy. Life was good. I gotta tell my children about this year, boy. I used to go
Man, you still got Monday to Wednesday, brother.
I used to go sit
No
there and
curfew.
raw air. I used to go sit there and raw dog air. It's a raw dog air.
I'm gonna tell you saying.
Y'all are ridiculous.
The other night it was out after I think it was after 11 or saying so, and I feel so strange. I
You see
felt
the
like at
criminal?
any minute I can see police pulling up trying to stop me. If you understand what I'm saying, it just
I
feels so
feel good.
surreal. It feels
You
so
see the
surreal to have no restriction on the hours that you could be on the outside
And that's
Monday to
ridiculous.
Wednesday.
I will feel. I
Yeah,
will
Should
feel
not
like you're
feel
doing
like
something
that. We
wrong,
should
bro.
not feel like that.
that's
I will
it.
feel like I will feel like you're doing something wrong. I'll be like,
I'd be like, wait, today is Wednesday? Today is Tuesday, right? Or yeah, they ain't got no
yeah,
curfew. And I think you gotta check your phone down and be like, oh, right, yeah, oh yeah, I should be safe. But you still feel strange because everybody is
yeah,
so accustomed to being off of the road now. They're just off of the road. So you aren't
yeah.
seeing the car for like so
Because it's a
long.
habit. It's a habit.
Yeah.
So it's like it's take a while to break a habit. It would take a good 3 weeks, 4 weeks to break that habit before you get feel normal being outside. I
That's what
think,
they want.
boy, child, boy, life has changed as you know it. And
Significantly.
I don't know if you ever get back there. Be like, I feel like so overwhelmed when it comes to like these memories and things about going outside before COVID. If I know
You
2019
better
was the
come back,
year,
woman.
if I
Come on,
know
because you
2019
better
was
come back.
the year before COVID, boy, I would have lived life so differently, boy.
Just gotta come back home and come off your drugs, big man. That's all you could do. Fry some fish cakes and bakes.
Subscription of bits.
Yeah. So what when I got to say now that we can be signing off, when I got any encouraging words to give to the people before we sign out?
Eat
Yeah.
some, eat some biscuits and drink some juice tomorrow. Um, and drink some water.
Got you tea
Yo,
times, got you tea times.
actually, I want the whole of Barbados to know that I'm on my last time. Though that
So what I mean?
I can probably gonna do some more and more. But
Oh. I thought that you telling me now that you going put a little sabbatical and you done away with that for like a month or two because you want to get back in the gym and you want to be on the straight and narrow. I know you just going. I know you're going to re-up tomorrow.
I can let one eat the rest of the time in Barbados. I can let one eat the rest of the time. I'm not eating.
It guarantee you that nobody is going to take away the supply.
You don't know that for sure. You do not know
But
that
that's
for sure.
true. I don't know that for sure. So yeah,
So,
do what you gotta do.
the way at 2020 again, at 2020, 21 again, I might start eating 2 times down here, or we got cut down the amount of times that we making. So we can got somewhat of a shortage. And I can regret going off of that run out sabbatical. So no, I will not start eating 2 times. They will
And then you home like this here. So look,
yeah. No,
want
no,
you
no.
sugar fix.
I,
I can't move much. Say that things might go left
yeah,
if you run out of tea times, man.
exactly.
Anyways, that's invite the people, guys. You all can come on and join us, have discussions with us.
Yo,
Even
Yeah,
if
we
you
ain't
want to
got
talk
nobody
about
that
tea
will walk
times.
on through.
people afraid of
Yes.
we just
People like the friend to
can't.
come on here, so I have a conversation. We
You
can
can
talk
add
about
you
any
the
and
same
everything.
time too.
The friend of a
I know
child,
what
the
I'm
friend of a
talking
child,
about.
the friend of you, friend of a
Yeah,
child.
well, you know that. Yeah, you know that I can be coming with it. You ain't two ways about it.
Okay.
All right. So Janelle, any encouraging words for the people?
Yes,
Well,
drink water, stay hydrated, mind with the business.
yo,
That's a fact. That's actually my skincare routine. That's the reason why that my skin is so silky, soft, and dark. I just drink water. You stay completely
Like,
hydrated, and you mind your business.
mind your
But
business.
for me, the advice I can give the people is that people, we have a 3 weeks new directive, no curfew, and we could be out till midnight.
man, is there curfew all
This,
this?
No,
No,
Monday
the
to
weekend
Wednesday.
is right. Them is
Oh,
Thursday
midnight
oh,
to
to
okay.
5
Sunday is to
a.m.
midnight instead of 11.
Okay.
So this is what you
Okay.
can tell when find when the people and food know. This is your uncle, your favorite uncle. Remember that.
I wasn't looking for that,
I
but
know, I
At
know.
all.
but
Is your
as
favorite
as
uncle.
mentioned as mentioned last week for me, including when it hurts the common sense, that resonated with me. I don't know what was the heart. Including when it hurts the common sense. Stay safe,
Oh
ladies.
dear.
When in doubt, here's he could tell when he rests. Whenever in doubt, like he would tell when to rest in the chat. But good night to everybody. And I wish everybody the best. I want to say a big shout out to the sponsors tonight. Correct, correct.
Never yet. Never yet.
This one here is for our Media Productions, reminding the people to make sure that they pull out. And
No.
ladies, if you don't know
I
what
That's
cannot do it.
Postanor is,
I cannot do it.
Google Postanor so that you would know what to do, how to protect yourselves against the high winds. All right?
when you how you
Yes,
come.
ladies,
Then
this
the high
is
winds.
summertime. It is time for the sundresses to be out. Wear the
That's not what I
sundresses
mean.
and let it rain. And let it rain do the work.
That's not
That's
what
what
I
we
meant,
working with.
though.
That's the video you talking about?
Yeah,
All right, cool.
sundress season. Sundress season.
Yo, but before we go though, I want to say a big shout out to Beardy Soap Entertainment, Jersey
Boop.
Bell,
Whip, 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 whip,
Alori
whip,
Media
whip, whip.
Productions,
Turn around.
First Mobile Massage,
Yeah, man.
and Trade Cut Barber Studio, each and every
For
time. Big
sure.
all
Big
I keep
ups.
saying the more, you know. I love
Okay,
the
and
Trade Cut.
Turn around. Like, yeah, when it's boop, boop.
before we go, let's just some person was saying they were confused about the curfew. The curfew, we do not have a curfew from
Mhm.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, no curfew.
All right.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the curfew is 12
Midnight.
midnight to
Yeah,
5
man.
a.m. So be inside your houses by 12 midnight, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. But from 5 a.m. Monday to 5 a.m. Thursday, there is no curfew. Well, I should say
You
that to
know that
12
that is
midnight
still
Thursday.
conflicting. You know that that is still conflicting because midnight is actually the next day. So that's actually Friday night, Saturday morning, Sunday
That's
morning,
it.
Monday
I said
morning.
Thursday night. I said Thursday night,
Yeah.
Friday night, Saturday night. I mean, I said from 12 midnight. So,
No, I know
however
what
you
you're
want to
saying.
go.
I know what you're saying, but I meant it. I meant it for whole day. Worded it
Okay,
because midnight.
Thursday.
Cause
So
midnight
you
is the
mean
next day.
Friday morning? All right. So 11:59 p.m. Be at home. Thanks,
Yeah.
Alluring Media Productions. From
See,
11:59 p.m. Be at home or
if
at the man or the
you start
woman.
with it, that's the motto. When it don't, beat beer and go home.
Yeah,
Anyways,
man.
and I ain't talking about Banks beer nor Heineken. But anyways, I want to
Facts.
say good night to everybody.
Good night to
A big
everybody.
shout to everybody in the chat. I sorry I was late, but I guess I want to say
You're
big
going
thanks
to
to my
leave
co-host.
business.
Big thanks to my co-host for holding it down for me till they get here because I left early.
Hello.
But respect to everybody in the chat, man. We love on the bar for sure, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, enough respect, man. Thanks
Definitely.
for coming through and spending one night
Thank
with
you,
me, man. Work
everybody. Good
tomorrow.
night.
Work tomorrow. So we can't get the thing at Kita tonight.
Nah, curfew.
Yeah.
All right.